Good. Up. Let's see. Is it working? Publicity should be working. Good. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's class. Let me just see if I can hear myself. Yeah, good. Excellent. So, thanks for joining. Today we're going to look at one of the most, well, not most, but one of the most common Taiji movement, probably present in most Taiji form, which is the wild horse heart's mane. There's a lot of different variation of this movement, so the variation we're going to do for Taiji Qigong Shibashi has been designed this way by Professor Lin for specific energetic movement. It's not specifically a martial application. So yeah, we're going to play with it and see how it moves, what are the components of it, and how to expand it through the Qigong set. Hi Alex, hi Beth, thanks for joining. So as usual, just a little disclaimer, I'm not there with you to observe you do the movement, so be mindful, always do it softly, carefully, make sure you don't hurt yourself, and if you need to take a break, take a break. It's technically a movement that's a little bit more difficult than most. I would say it's on par with the lion cub play with the ball from set 2. We have a similar beginning, but the transformation afterwards is different. So we'll get to play with all the different components and get into it. So let's get going. Oh, no wire. You should be in the pocket. There we go. So starting with feet parallel, shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent. We're going to start by just shifting our weight from one side to the other. And shifting our weight completely so that we can move our feet close. And when we bring the foot, we want to bring our big toe aligned or as close as possible to the center of the foot. So it's just next to the ground. And it should feel as if our toe was a big nail, like the nail that you're hammering, that penetrates into the ground. We want to feel this strength and connection with the ground that allows us to feel solid on one leg. Then putting it onto the other side, dropping our foot, shifting our weight, bringing it up. And on the standing leg, we want to extend the leg as much as possible without creating tension. So I don't want to have my knee straight if that means that my lower back is tensed up. But I want to have just this sitting position. The knee might be just slightly bent to feel the solidity passing through all the way down. And then my other foot on the side, connecting deeper with the ground and feeling this rooting sensation downward, as well as the rising through the torso up and into the sky. So in order to get this sensation, the opening of the area of Migmen, the area that's about belly button height in the back between L2, L3, is really the area where as we breathe in, we feel the internal pressure that helps to push towards the lumbar or push the lumbar towards the back. And that gives us this separation or this sensation that one part is pushing up while the other part is pushing down. So as I'm shifting my weight onto my leg, I want my leg to straighten as if I'm pushing down against the earth or pushing the earth with my foot. So from here I feel this driving through to give me that solidity and strength on my leg, and at the same time the ripple through the rest of the spine is pushing me up as I feel this elongation happening and feeling the top of the head stretching upward. Bringing our foot to the side. We're just going to do this shifting, finding this balance. Having the other foot touching the ground helps us to get a little bit more of that stretch, to find it. And feel free to rock yourself a little bit front and back on your supporting foot, finding that center spot where you can get the best balancing out. And if your flip-flops don't allow you to be super grounded, like mine are doing now, you can take them off and then just work barefoot if your floor is not cold. Never put your foot on a cold floor, not a good idea. So, big toe close to the center of the foot, touching the ground, feeling the connectivity of the foot, the roundedness through the arch, the stretch passing through the leg, and then the spine going up while the pelvis anchors us downward. Shifting the weight, going on to the other side. And we can start to add the movement of the hands together, which will come and give us a bit more stability as well. So my hands are not in the center, they are aligned with my supporting foot and the shoulder. So I have this column between the sole of the foot, the source at the bottom of the well, the kidney 1 point, up to the shoulder well, this opening here, allowing me to gather the chi through the channel and through the arms and between the palm. And here my hands are a bit more open. It's almost like the same big hand that would grab a basketball or a big ball with just one hand. My hands are not that big, but you find a ball that's the right size for your hands, putting them both on top of each other and aligning the Lao Gong point from the center of the palm both up above each other and allowing the chi to start to pool between the hands and create this sensation of a big ball. Up, releasing the ball for now, connecting with the feet, grabbing this ball, rolling the arms together like if I'm taking it, rolling it between my hands, and then feeling this connection from the leg as well. So the chi is rising through my leg, through my torso, filling the body up, and then the surplus flow through the arm between the palms and the other between my hands like a big ball. As I'm allowing my foot to come down, releasing this ball for now, connecting again with the earth, and then pulling it back up. We're not doing the full movement, we're doing just half of it right now, the preparation, so that we get the chi to be present to express itself more fully in the full movement. So, bringing the foot down, shifting the weight to the center, connecting through the center, up, gathering as I'm shifting my weight, feeling the chi rising, supporting me at the same time as I feel this anchor from the other foot connecting down to the ground, feeling the openness through the back, the strength within the body, and the feeling that you're as stable as a tree that has deep roots and connects with the ground. So my upper arm here is about shoulder height. Everything is parallel to the ground, and I want my shoulder to be relaxed, so the shoulder blades sink, and this is what gives me this floating sensation. I don't want to use my trapezius to try to hold, or my upper trapezius, because we're using the lower and the middle trapezius, but don't want to use the upper trapezius, which keeps my arm up, but sink the shoulder blade, which then gives me this floatiness through the arm, the stretch through the Tai Yang channel, going all the way through the shoulder blade, sinking and giving me this floating sensation from the arm as I'm gathering the ball, allowing the chi to circulate and express itself from the palm between both, and feeling this bubble between my hands gathering. And if you can, we'll hold this for about a minute, just to do a little bit of Zanzuan training at the same time. allowing your breath to be soft and deep, feeling the connectivity through the abdominal breathing, the thoracic and upper thoracic breathing. And then allowing the foot to connect to the ground, shifting sides, passing through the center, gathering the chi again, up into the other side. And feeling the ball starting to gather between the palms. And taking a moment, staying within the posture, observing the circulation of the chi within the body. Again, putting our foot down, opening, connecting with the ground, and then again gathering the chi, rolling the ball between the palm, and letting the intensity of the ball grow and develop itself. Up, and coming back to the center. So that was the inhale part where we gather the chi. The lower hand, as I'm shifting my weight, is also bringing my foot so I can kind of grab the chi from the ground, building it up through the legs and gathering it into the lower abdomen. And then the rest of the body is filling up. My top hand is actually acting a little bit like the lid on top of the torso to gather the chi and not let it rise and go too far up. I want to have this concentration of chi between my hands, because afterwards I'll be opening and spreading it as I'm stepping out and doing the rest of the movement. So once we gathered, we'll drop the hands for now. We'll just look at the stepping. That will be easier first. So we're gathering the chi, feeling the strength through the leg. And as I'll be stepping, my heel will step sideways. So I'm not taking a step forward. I'm not also taking a step back to try to have more space between my legs. I'm stepping completely laterally to the side. By doing so, my foot will be opening at 45. So I think you guys can see the line on the floor. So let me come here. I'll be stepping right onto this line so that I have my 45-degree angle. As I'm stepping, I'll be shifting my weight and making sure my knee is aligned with my foot. My back leg will then naturally extend as I'm bringing all my weight here. So my back leg is free to move. From here, my hips kind of come and sit in the same direction as my leg and where my knee is pointing. And the rest of the rotation will come from the torso. And we'll look into those details a bit more in a few minutes. From here, because all of my weight is on my front leg, it's easy to just pull my back leg and bring it to the side as I'll be gathering and getting ready to step onto the other side afterwards. And here again, the same thing, my foot will stretch out. So I'm going in a straight line and my foot points on the opposite 45. As I'm shifting my weight, naturally here my back heel will rotate. And if you can see my foot, both of my feet are like on train track. The stepping is a little wider, but if I was to bring my foot side to side and a little closer, you can see that I'm on two parallel lines from those lines on the floor. Actually, yeah, you can probably see it a little bit. Let me step back. So here, so you can see that my feet are on two parallel line on the floor. They're just separated a little bit further apart. From here, my weight is on my front leg. I'm bringing my back leg next to it, so I can go up, taking a step out, opening through the quads, I'm shifting my weight. And once my weight reaches here, naturally, as my hip start to turn, my heel will reach its position in the back. So I don't have to think about, oh, I have to turn my foot or anything. It's through the movement of the body that the positioning happened. And then my weight is already here, so it's easy to just bring it up, switch, and change. So finding the right distancing between your feet, that's what we're going to do now. We'll take just a few steps like this, repeatedly, without worrying too much about, full angle or anything. I need you to find that stepping. You don't want to just have a small step where you stay too high and your back leg remains bent. You want a stepping that's a bit wider, so you need to kind of bend your knee first, extend your leg, and then transfer the weight, which will allow you to find this slight modified bow and arrow stepping. So the front leg, I want to try to keep my lower leg as vertical as possible. I don't want my knee to bend too much. But if my knee is bent, I want to make sure it definitely doesn't go further than the toes. But the more vertical your lower leg will be, the more stable you will feel. Here, if my lower leg is straight and I try to push on my knee side to side, the knee is very solid. But as soon as my knee is bent a little bit, everything else becomes a lot less stable from the lower body, ankle, and foot. So as I'm taking the step, I want to make sure that my step will be wide enough. If it's a little too close, then I'll have more of a tendency to really push my knee forward. So taking a wider step, shifting my weight as much as possible, and that allows me to extend the back leg to feel my weight here, so very easy to move, and then keeping this solidity through my front leg. Up, coming back up, bending heel, shifting sides, rotating the hips. Up, heel, shift, up, heel, shift, up, heel, shift. And if you can't go low, do it higher, it's okay. You gotta find the right harmonious posture for you while maintaining as much as possible the harmony within your movement. Up here. If you have stronger legs and you want to play a little more, a bit more of a Chen style stepping, a little wider, or a bit higher if you want to. Good. Any questions on that aspect of the stepping so far? Decide needing to play with it a little bit more, which is normal. Good. Let's continue. So we'll add a little bit more the notion of the rotation of the waist before we add the movement of the arm through it. Since we always start towards the left, as I'm gathering to do my movement, I'm gathering on my right leg first, taking my step, shifting the weight, turning my hips so that I'm aligned with my foot, making sure that my lower back isn't bent, like sticking the butt out, but more sitting onto my leg. Almost like if I wanted to bring my back foot under the ground and then lift it up. So I want this opening of the hips to place my weight in front towards my front foot so that my back leg can follow more easily. It also helps to bring my weight at the right spot. Once I'm here, once my hips are in the same direction as my knee and toes, then this is where the waist will finish the rotation up so that my shoulders are facing completely to the side. So if I was to do this facing the camera, I would come here, take my step up, rotate my hips, which would face in this direction, and then rotate through the waist so that my upper torso can be facing completely to the side. And then when I release, I just let everything naturally gathers back together. Taking a step, shifting my hips, rotating my torso from the waist so that my shoulders are facing this way. And then as I release, up, back up here. Is 100% of the weight on the standing foot? Yes, we're trying to get that full weight shift from one side to the other. This is a notion that takes a little bit of time to develop because it requires a bit of flexibility through the pelvis bowl, through the ability to move a little bit more the sacrum, which then changes the center of gravity inside the lower abdomen. Because when the sacrum comes in and it pushes the center of gravity more towards the front, making it easier to feel that my weight is on my foot. Therefore, I don't need to move my torso in order to get my foot back into place. If I'm here and I feel I can't lift my foot without actually moving my body forward, then I need to readjust a little bit my positioning. That's why starting here at first, taking a step, shifting our weight until we can feel that, oh, here I can just naturally bring my foot without having to actually move and then bringing it up. So we can gradually play with it. Don't worry if you're not able to do this now. It's the first time you're trying it, most likely. So gradually, by playing with it, this ability will develop. Let's add the hands into the mix. So from the ball, without moving the feet first, we're just gonna look at our hands movement, and then we'll put 2 and 2 together. As we gather the ball, then we'll extend it, cross over the forearm, and then push, extending both. So I'm gathering a ball, I'm shifting my weight, and I'm kind of squeezing this ball before extending it. My back hand will connect with my back foot, palm facing down. My front hand, my forearm is a little bit like a shield that I'm using to open up the way in the direction that I'm going. Gathering here, move. So passing in front of the forearm, we're actually aligning the Laogong with the Neguan point, which allow to open up the flow of energy from the inside to the outside. We're gathering the Qi so that we allow it to expand and fill the Wei Qi bubble around us stronger, but this time we're doing this on a horizontal plane. So by expanding sideways, the bubble expands everywhere. So gathering, opening and sinking part of the chi towards the back, expanding part of it in the front. So let's add this a little bit with the step, gathering the ball. This part most of you are familiar with already from the set 2. Stepping, I'll be transferring the weight as I'm crossing my forearms. As my weight reaches here on my front leg, I'll be starting to move my waist, my hips, so that my back heel align, my back hand align with it. And once I have the connection from my hand to my foot, then the waist gives me the last rotation, feeling the strength through the back and this roundness in the front connecting forward. Coming here, I'm releasing the spiral, coming back to the center, extending my foot, rolling up, opening. Feeling the connection from my hand to the back foot, feeling the expansion of the chi through the front hand and expanding it out. Gathering. Step. Expand the bubble and rotate into it. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do one more. Up. Good. And gently rubbing the palms. Good. How are you guys feeling? There's a little bit more of intricacy going on through it. It's probably one of the most martial-ish movements in the system. So it's a little bit different than what we're used to because of the complexity of the stepping, the rotation. But it has some very interesting expansion, opening, contraction coming through. So let me know. How was the feeling? Were you able to feel this expansion of the chi, the gathering, the ball between your hands? Give me a little bit of feedback to know where to go for the rest of the class. Already have a good idea of what we'll do, but just to see if I'm on the right track, on the same track as you guys. we'll play with the feeling of qi to try to bring it in a little bit more. Feel nourishing. Good. Yeah. So while you guys are thinking about a question or what you want to write down, one of the main common misinterpretation of this movement based on its name is that people think that the arms are what is parting the mane of the horse. The movement actually refers more of a horse shaking its back, moving its mane. So it's not that I'm separating or brushing my hands through long hair. It's that the movement comes from the body with that same vigorousness or intensity as a horse shaking the mane off its back. Just a little tidbit. It's not quite what we're going for within the Qigong aspect. That's more the martial side, but it also opens up our idea that we're not just thinking about the arm, but we're thinking about moving through the whole body and with the back. Is the extending arm in the same direction as the foot and knee? When we first start, the direction changes a little bit as we go with the rotation of the waist. So as I'm stepping out here, my back hand extend together, and then my front hand extend in that direction as well. But then because I have this rotation, there's a bit more expansion happening through the torso. So my back hand remains connected, although it's moving a little bit, but the upper one expand kind of further around. If I'm not staying here, I have this openness. The backhand, though, connects and then allows me to push and extend while the shoulder keeps opening. So there's different phases that expand throughout the movement. Great. Flying cub playing with the ball was my favorite movement of set 2, so I love this one. Excellent. So let's play a little bit more with the sensation of qi and try to make it more vibrant even within this movement. So we'll start by bringing our awareness towards the feet, feeling the connection of the feet with the ground, feeling that roundness of the arch of the foot kind of pulling the qi up through the legs, and using our palm to do the same to increase it. As we inhale, kind of pulling the qi up through our legs until it can reach into the lower abdomen. Here we're going to start to gather the qi between the palm within the lower abdomen. So my hand stays about solar plexus height for now. To really help to feel that there's also a ball inside the lower abdomen that helps to support the lumbar spine, help to stretch through the back, and give us this solidity through our back as we're doing this. And you can change which hand's on top with each breath. For now, we're keeping our weight in the center, so our hands are gathering in front of the center line. And then feeling how the qi starts to rise through the spine. Up. We can even bring it up through the neck, gently above the head, feeling how the qi is rising. condensing it between the palm, connecting through the feet into the earth, inhaling up. And down, connecting through the feet into the ground. Inhale. Exhale. Feeling the elongation through the spine. Now adding the weight shift. Inhaling, bringing the weight on your right leg. Keeping the upper palm at shoulder height. And coming back down through the center. Inhaling, bring your weight to the left. Up. Exhale. Coming back down to the center. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And one more. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhaling, gathering the chi. And this time, taking a step, compressing a bit the bubble, expanding it, connecting through the back leg as I'm aligning my hips, and rotating through the waist as I feel the stretch through the back from the top of the head to the back foot. Up, gently opening, releasing the spiral, inhaling as I'm gathering the chi back up. Stepping, compressing, shifting the weight, allowing the expansion to happen. Up, opening and releasing the spiral, gathering the chi. Step, expand, filling up the weight chi. Releasing, gathering into between the palm. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And let's do it one more each side. Up. And gently rubbing the palms together. Tapping a bit the legs, the lower back, if you feel you tensed up a little bit. Let me see comments here. Comments hard at the beginning. Excellent. So thank you for the info about what main refers to. Now integrating the back of the body. Excellent. Explaining the difference between this one and the lion cub. Yes. So with the lion cub, it's much more of a rising movement upward. So it has this rising, sinking, and gathering. So I have much more of this kind of motion. Whereas here, I'm really expanding more laterally and connecting a bit more with the ground. The lion cub affects a lot more the chest, the heart in particular, and the radiating of the heart and the upper, so middle and upper dantian expression, whereas this one is much more of a middle and lower dantian expanding, which particularly affects the spleen and is one of the movements used in set 4 to help people with diabetes to get the energy from the inside to express outwards. Well, these are quickly some of the difference. Although the first gathering phase is the same, the expression afterwards is one going up, while the other one is more lateral and down. When you stroke, are you opening the thorax as well? Yes. So through particularly, and that comes in link with the question you had earlier, as I'm here, my lower hand connects with my back foot. Step here. So with this connection, because the torso or the waist keeps turning, there's this expansion happening to maintain my hand. Otherwise, I would be here and then I would not be connected anymore with my backhand. So as I'm expressing here and expanding, I keep this expansion through the chest, through the shoulders and up, allowing me to have a rounder or bigger circumference so that the bubble of the chi that I'm expanding is expanding more and more, kind of in a spiraling way out as I'm opening. And therefore, when I'm coming back, everything spirals back in. And I gather. And then when I step, again, I've got this whole body movement. So the man of the horse is behind me. It's like if I had long hair, because mine are not long enough, to go down through my back attached to the spine. And so as I'm moving here, my whole back is expanding. So this little ball that I'm gathering here expands everywhere. It's like this big woof, tornado opening. And then when I come back, it closes. So I have this opening, woof, closing. Open, close. So we have this big movement, if I'm exaggerating it now, of course, to get this idea of this expansion and then gathering. Hope that answered your question about opening the chest. Yes, good. Excellent. Where are we doing with time? Oh, excellent. 15 minutes. Any more questions? If not, we'll do the whole form up to that point. We didn't do the whole form last time, so we'll be good to put all the movement together. Of course, take a sip of water. You should be drinking water as well throughout the class. Good. So let's get into our whole set 3 until movement 11. crossing at the wrist, at the fingers, bending, keeping the hand facing upwards, and we'll just keep them resting on the lower abdomen for now, allowing a few breaths to let the abdominal breathing settle in, to make sure that our hips, our pelvis is probably seated on our legs, that the sacroiliac joint is open, that the arch of our foot are alive, that they can open and close or round and push and stretch, and allowing the movement and the connection of the feet with the ground. Feeling through the breath the opening of the lumbar area. The stretch through the spine, opening up the head. The opening of the upper shoulders. And on your next inhale, allowing your hands to rise up. All the way above the head. Turning the palm back. Exhale, letting your hands come down, bringing the chi back into the lower dantian. Inhaling up. Turning the palm, exhaling down. Inhale. Exhale. In. And out. In. Out. Let's do one more. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale. Taking a step with the left. Inhale. And then stepping back Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. In. Out. And let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale. The blooming lotus flower. Exhale. Let's do one more. Inhale. Looking at the sunset. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. One more each side. Pointing the needle at the bottom of the seat. Inhaling. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more each side. opening heaven and earth. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. One more. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. Punching with inner strength. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. One more each side. Palms together, bending the waist. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. In. Out. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Coming back to the center, opening the wings to fly. Inhale. Exhale. To the left. Inhale. Exhale. Back to the center. Inhale. Exhale. To the right. Inhale. Exhale. Back to the center. Inhale. Exhale. One more to the left. Inhale. Exhale. Switching my weight to the right, gathering the ball. Inhale. Taking a step. Exhale, parting the mane. Up. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. One more. In. Out. Up. Coming back to the center. Let's use the closing of set 2. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale. Exhale. In, out. And one more. Inhale. Exhale. Taking a moment to feel the sensation of qi through the body. And gently rubbing the palms together. Good. How are you guys feeling? That's good. We're, what, almost at 2/3 through the whole set? Excellent. Any questions so we can close the class? Or any comments? How are you feeling? Feeling good? No question. Excellent. Good, good. Great. Well, again, thank you for being here. It's always a pleasure to have those exchange, discussion, even if it's only through the chat. And yeah, if you made it all the way through and you're watching this on replay and you have questions, leave them in the comment section below and I'll be happy to reply. And as a self-promotion reminder, if you're interested in starting to teach Taiji Qigong Shibashi, I'll be offering the first teacher training online that is, I wouldn't say accepted, but recognized by Professor Lin Housheng, to help you understand deeper the system and be able to teach it as well with better clarity, better understanding, develop your own, the better quality of your own Qigong. And if you're not interested in teaching, but you just want to dive deeper into your understanding of it, you're welcome to join as well. For more information, just send me a message on my website, qigong18.com. Oh, no worry, Alex, you'll get that good. It's a question of practice. That's why we do that. We train regularly so that it becomes easier and that we're able to bring it into our everyday life. And to answer your other question, yes, there are 8 total set within the system. Set 1, 2, and 3, 5, 6, and 7 all have 18 individual movements. Set 4 is the deeper medical Qigong aspect where we learn how to use the movement from set 1, 2, and 3 for therapeutic use. And set 8 is the quintessential form that gather 36 of the most or Professor Lin's preferred movement to make a very intense practice. For those of you who are a bit more familiar with Taiji Chuan, I would say the set 8, the quintessential form, would be somewhat the equivalent of the use of the cannon fist form in the Chen style, in the sense that the movements are done faster, so you need to have trained the quietness of the movement and the ability to feel the qi deeply in order to maintain it as you're moving faster and as you're changing quite a lot more. Instead of repeating the same movement 6 to 8 times each before moving to the next, the movements are paired together. So you do 2 repetitions of one, 2 repetitions of the other, going back 2 and 2, and then you switch pair. So it creates a dynamism within the form that's very interesting on how it affects the qi and how it stimulates it and make it move in the body. But it also requires you to be able to be in the right state to move the qi as you're moving faster and constantly changing. So it's a much more challenging form. Well, that kind of gives you an overview of the 8th form within the system. So basically, Taiji Qigong Shibashi has 108 individual movements as far as a system. split in 6 form of 18 movements, plus the quintessential and the therapeutic one. Good. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a beautiful day, and I'll be seeing you back on Monday to continue with our development of set 3. All right. Ciao, everyone. Have a good weekend.